The Wild Women Symposium is an amazing event where we pull together the resources and the talents of many talented facilitators to all come together twice a year to Salt Lake City, Utah, to help women open to their divine feminine. The Wild Women Symposium is going to be the spring of 2016, April 1st through 3rd. And today I have with me Reese Morrell, who has been one of our facilitators consistently at the Wild Women Symposium. And we are so happy that she's going to be teaching some new classes for us now. Hi, Reese.
Hi, Suzanne. Thanks again for having me. It's always such an honor to be able to work with women on a journey to healing. You know, to be able to help make the symposium a national place, a hub for women who want to heal their heart and heal their soul and move forward.
Well, and we love you because the premise of the Wild Women Symposium and the reason we do these videos is that we want women to have an opportunity to kind of feel into each woman's energy and who they are and what they're about and their history and their skills and their talents and about their class. But even more importantly, we try to pick women who walk their talk so that they're not just, teaching something that was out of a book that was really cool, but they actually have tremendous life experience that is transformative by nature. And I really believe that knowledge is learned through the mind, but wisdom is learned through experience. And so we try and pull teachers who really have had the experience. And we know you have had just tons of experience. You're filled with experience.
Yes. What is that? A blessing, what is that? They say that your lowest moment is a great foundation to build up, to build upward. And that's really true. I mean, I'm a sexual assault and abuse survivor. I'm a physical abuse survivor, an emotional abuse survivor, a recovered addict, a domestic abuse survivor. I mean, I, for years, went through life, I felt like with a target on my little loving heart. Please treat me horribly. And, I had a lot of unlearning to do. I had a lot of healing to do and a lot of accepting to do in myself. And as I speak to a lot of healers that I know, a lot of us have similar stories. And I feel like it is a blessing that we're able to get to this other side and give back because we now connect and be empathetic to those who were on that journey and show them that they were given this mountain to prove that it could be moved. And that I could connect heart to heart with these women who have been in the same place as me with eating disorders and all kinds of problems, that they need to understand that they may have been in a bad situation, but they are not that situation, and that they are part of divine love, and they just have to start breaking together the pieces like pottery and know that that's great. That's part of you, and that makes you a stronger person. Is we're always stronger at the scar tissue. Even we don't think that, but we are. And scar tissue and stretch marks are signs that we have grown, and they're beautiful. Not what the beauty industry says, but the truth that most women have them, and there are battle scars to show that we are so strong, and we are able to move forward.
And I really believe in the healing process that as women, it helps us to have examples of women that have broken through things so that when we're stuck in a particular place, I find myself intuitively drawn to a teacher who has worked through that issue because I look at her and I go, okay, she did it like that. Well, that seems pretty reasonable. I think that's a step-by-step I could do. Like, okay, I kind of like her, I trust her. I'm going to give that a shot. And, especially right now, because there's so much craziness happening in the news and there's so much an environment of infectious fear and toxic emotion that is literally like a virus running through the system that as women, I think we're so sensitive naturally. And I find for myself as a psychic that I feel like I have to consciously put effort into maintaining my center and noticing what is my fear, what is not my fear, own what's mine and deal with that and just remove anything else from the space. And so now you're coming all the way from Baltimore, Maryland. And so, like technically you live in West Virginia, but you're like way, coming way far away. And so tell us about the work that you do with women and men, I'm sure, in your area.
Yes. Well, I am International Center for Reiki Training, Reiki Master. I have a background in child development and addiction counseling and therapy. I have a degree, and so I use those skills that I have to help people. And I'm also a psychic and I channel. So with all those things together, when I provide sessions for my clients, either via the internet or here in my studio, I allow them a space to be authentic, to heal, to emote, and let anything that they're holding on to go. And understand that a lot of the times the stress and the pain of the holding on to the fear, the holding on to the damage is actually what's exhausting us. And if we can get through and break through the fear of holding on, we can actually open up to the abundance, open up to the love, open up to the freedom. That is what we were put here to do, our soul path, our love, our journey, our being able to pay back to other people. So we're not very highly populated where I'm at, but yes, I do that. I do a lot of via the internet, but I try to provide a space for individuals who are looking to move forward and to heal, where they can be authentic and they can strip themselves bare and understand that being in that place is a beautiful place. You know, it's courageous to be in that place, to be someone who can have an open heart, who can love themselves and love the world, even with all this fear, with everything. Like I said, I can't plug in. I don't watch the news as much as I used to. I try to stay off of Facebook. People I love, I'm not friends with on because they will post all these. I can't do it. Psychologically, spiritually, the world is made of love, and so many of our ascended masters have told us over and over and over again, love is the answer. You still have to do work, but love is the answer. And then loving yourself has to be a priority. And I allow people and teach people that you can be selfish in a way that's not what we are taught as selfish, especially as women. I mean, we put so much time and effort for everybody else and put ourselves last. You know, I was in the grocery store the other day and these two ladies were saying, oh yeah, I didn't get myself anything for Christmas. Oh yeah, the same old clothes. Yeah, it's never for me. I never have time. I never have money. And I thought, you're brainwashed into thinking that you have value. You're not just a slave for everyone else in your life. It actually is better if you say, you know what, I need an hour today just for myself. I need time to recharge. I need time to heal, because a broken lantern can't share its light. And as women, we're taught, we're the hands and feet of everything, but we don't get the credit. We don't get the acknowledgement. It's just expected. And so you have to protect your heart, and you have to make those things a priority, and to prioritize your own well-being and healthiness in a way that's not egocentric, but is with love for yourself, self-love for yourself.
Yes, I mean, I agree. It's like I feel like you and I on Facebook, we try to countermand all the negativity. So like when I see you, you're always putting something positive up, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, I am not succumbing to this negativity. And whatever you feed grows. I mean, it totally grows. Yeah. And I'm like, I cannot tolerate people feeding the negativity any more than it already is, because it creates an environment that's destructive and adversarial, and it brings mentally ill people to the brink of breaking. Yes. And it fuels a fire. And I remember the gurus always saying, never put wood on a burning, raging fire. And you can see people throwing all this wood on the fire. And so I'm just like, I'm trying to throw water on the fire, and you're throwing water on the fire with our positive, loving intention.
Yeah, absolutely. And on days when I'm bad, I'm like, I can't think of anything. I say a cat or a dog or something cute is at least that's something, if I'm having a bad day, at least it's something counteractive that's neutral, but it's very true. And I know when I made the conscious effort to start doing that was almost 8-9 years ago, and I made my Facebook public, and I thought, what would I do if everyone could see what I was doing every day, right? How would I control myself and treat myself differently? Okay, how am I going to try to reformat my thinking with an everyday habit, which was it has to be positive. So even if my world is crumbling, which it had a lot this year, I would still be requiring myself to find the positive aspect in it and put it on there and figure it out and figure out how to do that. I'm having a moment of PTSD. I find the positive to get focused on that, to get out. Like you said, you don't need to be taken to the brink, on a regular basis. We all deserve better. I think we all deserve a better way of interacting and treating each other. Like I said, everything is so inflammatory anymore. And yeah, why add oxygen and timber to something that, we can step back and, take care of ourselves and practice the starfish, help one at a time. And, it doesn't have to be the way that it is. I mean, and that's the other reason I love this symposium, because it teaches you it doesn't have to be that way. And you go and you think, oh, well, yeah, of course it doesn't have to be that way. Why did I think of that before? It's so easy. In May, Suzanne did this great thing where she was talking about when you're upset with your partner, how are there ways to communicate? Now, I was sitting there, and I'll be honest, I'm always open, but sometimes my logic brain says, I can't do this. This is so awful. But I listened to what she had to say, and actually this weekend with, an ex-partner of mine, we had a big fight, and I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Suzanne Wagner method with the timer, and we're just going to do this, and we're going to forgive each other and move on. And it was the most amazing thing, because within 2 minutes, we got out what we had to say, and we could forgive, and we could love each other, and we could be a team again. And like I said, there's little things that you pick up at the symposium that you would have no idea that you'd be able to use. No idea what you're going to get, and it's going to transform your life. I would not be able to have a relationship with someone who hurt me in the past if I hadn't had those tools that I picked up. So thank you for that, because that was my friend Delilah, who I brought from New York City with me, was saying, you have to tell Suzanne, because she's going to love the fact that her technique works so well for you this weekend. So
Yay, I'm so glad, because, I'm like you. It's like I have these experiences. I want to share the experiences. And if it only serves as giving you maybe a different idea, maybe you might look at my idea and go, well, I can't exactly do it that way, but I could do it kind of like this, that each of us has our own unique kind of method. And what I love is just like piquing people's interest in their brain, opening up and going, you could actually do that? Really? That's kind of interesting. Okay, let's try that.
Which is exactly what I was like. I was like, how am I going to, this is a tricky situation. How am I going to solve it in a way that's filled with love, but I'm also really, really, really mad. So how do I move past that in a way? I'm like, ooh, Suzanne, no, she taught me this, and I never thought, but that's that's the great thing about this. I learned so much from people, and you talk to the women that are there, and you just keep picking up things to help you heal yourself and help you heal other people. You don't have to be a healer to do it either. You just have to be open and open yourself up, and to be willing to connect with the women there, and you are going to find that space that's going to lift you and lift all the people around you, because as we heal ourselves, we create a ripple effect that heals everything. It's the starfish, but they don't realize, they say it made something to that one, but you have to be that one first before you move forward. So.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for the plug. That was great. Now, you're going to be teaching 2 classes, because we just love you so much. We're going to have you teach 2 classes, and you're going to be teaching a class on finding the other side of fear. And especially with what's going on in the world right now, I thought that was a critical class. So tell us about this class.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use several of Plato's allegories, specifically the cave. If you're not familiar, you feel free to look it up on Wikipedia. But we're going to use that and together as a team, and we're going to realize that everything we ever want is on the other side of fear. We say that, and we read that, and we think that, but to actually experience it, to live it, again, it's this. The world resonates with fear. The media is fear. Everything is fear. We have to rely on money. That's fear. They have to go to work. We might lose our job. That's fear. We don't have guaranteed health care. That's fear. All of those things end up putting impediments in how we think and how our soul thinks and how we're open to the universe. I know for recovery, all I ever knew was abuse. I didn't know that life could be beautiful on the other side. So yes, I was afraid to journey there, to go through that, especially when you have to go through recovery. You have to relive a lot of what you didn't heal the first time. So, it's not like it's an easy, non-traumatic experience to go through recovery for addiction or anything like that. So I always tell people, that you have to understand that it's very true that on the other side of fear, I started my company, I only had $1,000, but I had to get through the fear. I built my wings on the way down. So we are going to get together as women who are open to understanding what that process is. And we're going to do an active workshop. They're not going to be taking notes or anything. We're going to be actively working together as a team. And we are going to understand that we have the ability to jump into our lives and build our wings on the way down. And we are loved by the universe and we are protected. And anytime we think that we are not, that's coming from somewhere else. It's not coming from here. It's not coming from the divine. It's coming from the outside source. We are, we are protected and we are able to fly under the worst circumstances. No matter how low we go, at least we've got a solid foundation to move forward. And I know that, the women here have more than the ability to build those wings. I mean, they have it just by attending the symposium itself is saying, I know I can get to the other side of this. So I was so happy to be able to offer that, because for me, that has been critical to every big step in my life, has been moving through the fear and understanding that it's just here. But they say everything happens, everything that holds you back is only 6 inches, right? It's the 6 inches in your brain. So we're going to say, we're going to let that 6 inches go and we're going to work from here instead. So
I love that metaphor. I've never heard that metaphor.
Yeah, that's one of those entrepreneurial things. Everything that stands in your way is only 6 inches. And of course, all the men are going, what? And they go, here.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so great. Okay, now you're going to be teaching a second class, and that second class is Be the Person You Needed as a Child.
Okay, yeah, now it's funny. Sometimes you don't realize you have a healthy coping mechanism, especially when you're in the midst of so much trauma. This is going to be a very, very intensive, I want to warn people ahead of time, this is going to be a very intensive workshop. So this is not necessarily for the faint of heart. Other side of fear, yes, that's for anybody, who's willing to go through the process. But this is going to be maybe heavy, maybe slightly difficult for people, especially if you're someone who's experienced trauma as a child. And what we're going to do is we are actually in person going to meet our inner child, the child that stopped growing when we experienced trauma. We're going to sit and we're going to meet this child, and we are going to look at this child, and we are going to talk to it, and we are going to hold it, and we are going to help it and ourselves grow from that experience. I was traumatized at 8 and I stopped growing at 8. And I used to, I had the degree in child development. I worked with children, and they'd always say to me, you're like 8, but you're in an adult body. And it was always so weird to me. But when I got into therapy, I realized what that was, that there was that damaged girl inside that hadn't been allowed to grow up. Well, the minute I acknowledged that in therapy, and the minute that I met her, which was for me also traumatic, to look at yourself as a child and to hold them and love them, and to start doing the things in life for yourself that you would have done if you'd been the parent of yourself, right? To give yourself that opportunity to heal, to give yourself that space to enjoy what the inner child didn't get to, that stopped growing, to give those things to move up. My inner child is like 18 or 19 now, as I push 40. So, but it's not 8 anymore, but I've given myself that space to mature, to love, to move forward. And so I will be allowing that space and helping everyone through that. But again, this is maybe a difficult workshop for some people. So I just want to put that out there, because I don't want anyone to backslide because it was too intensive. They are not ready to do this process. But I know for those who are ready, though, it will be cathartic. And again, I am very happy. I had spoken to Lene, one of the founders of this, and about things that I was thinking about. And I told her that I had this possible idea, and she said, you have to provide this. You have to give this. And so, like I said, I know it's one of the things that unknowingly that I provided for myself. So again, paying back to others, I'm just honored to have the space and opportunity to do it. And I know that it'll be helpful for those who are at a place that they can take that on.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. One of the things that we're always trying to do a dance with the Wild Women Symposium is that we want women to have really powerful experiences. And we also know that whenever you start to dig even a little bit below the surface of consciousness, the first thing that will show up for women is their wounding, whatever their wounding is. And so ladies out there, you have to know that, we're doing an experiential event, and we're not like, roto-rooting for your worst self, okay? But what'll happen is whatever you are ready to deal with, the moment we scratch the surface, it's going to pop to the surface. And so we ask all of you ladies out there to take responsibility for your experience, to be responsible for your own emotions, and trust us, we've got therapists on staff, we've got people to help you, we've got body workers. It's not like you're going to be by yourself, but you do need to talk to us. Like if something is coming up, to talk to us so we can help you through. Because as you, Reese, have done and I have done, it's not that therapy traditional therapy isn't incredibly valuable, because when you're very wounded, you need one-on-one healing. I mean, that is the only way to go. I mean, that is essential to build that like stable place inside.
Yeah.
But also, as you go along, you get to a place where you get into workshops where the energy that is in the room and how other women are opening actually drags you into opening to a place you didn't even know you could do. And so it's sort of like you get sucked into the wave. And you can get a lot of progress in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and it can be overwhelming if you don't realize that that's a possibility. And that actually happened to me. Like I said, I am a psychic, but at the same time, I opened up something in me and a potential in me I had no idea was there. And fortunately, I am at a place where I was able to say, okay, this is a layer, you know, and I'm always digging the layers, and we're always working on ourselves. But again, it takes a lot of self-awareness, and not everybody is, you know, there where they can. So yeah, so please, if you do have anything that comes up, you know, one, please be open to it, and two, please talk to us, because we have people that will ground you. We have people that are therapists. We have people that will just hold you while you cry if you need to, and I'm more than happy to do that. So I mean, I've done it before for 45 minutes. Somebody I didn't know, if you need that, I'm here. It's not on me. It's good. You know, I'm more than happy to take that on if you need it. So yes.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, I mean, for me and you too, it's like we've done so much of this work at this point. I always get surprised that I think, oh, I've done everything, right? You know, and then I go to a workshop that sounds pretty, you know, tame and easy. And I'm like, oh, this will be cool. I'll just like chat with angels or something, you know. And then all of a sudden it's like, whammo, zammo. And I'm like, I had no idea that was in there. I've been doing work on myself for 30 years. I've meditated for 30 years. Are you kidding me? So,
that's right. If anybody tells you that they don't have any work to do, they're selling you something, because that's the beauty of being human. We're all flawed. We're all working on ourselves. So, you know, that's wonderful. And this is a great safe space to do it. If you're someone who doesn't willing to do it other places, at least you have these 3 days as a safe space to at least start or to do something. So.
well, and what I find is that this 3 days will knock you off your old pattern. It'll knock you off your old trajectory, and you become part of a tribe, and you become a part of a collective. And I think as women, we really want to belong. We want to feel a place where we can really be our authentic self and not be judged. And that's what we try to create at the Wild Women Symposium. Now, Reese, how do people get a hold of you? Because I know you're also going to be at the symposium a week before, and
We got there.
A week after. It's the week
Yeah.
after. Okay. So
Yeah.
tell them all about that.
Okay, so I'm going to be, since I live out in the DC Baltimore area, I will be out in Salt Lake at the Homewood Suites. I will be there the week after the symposium, the full week, and I will be teaching International Center for Reiki Training curriculum Reiki training sessions. I will doing all the levels up to Reiki Master Teacher. So that's 5 days in a row of teaching. In my bio link is my website. You can also find me on Facebook. The information and the events are there. My website is seraphimtherapy.com. Seraphim like the angels. SERPHIM, and then therapy, like you're going into therapy, THERAPY.com, and all the classes are listed on there. I take deposits, so you can pay, you can put it in, you know, reserve your seat. I'm only taking 12 people per class. So this is the opportunity once you finish either you do the level 1 and 2, which is 2 days, or the Reiki Master Teacher, which is 3, or if you do all 5, you qualify to actually become a member of the International Center for Reiki Training, and you actually get insurance and all those kind of things to practice if you want to start a business, or you can do it to heal yourself or to heal other people, whatever it is that you're looking for. So these are full day classes. So as part of building that energy, letting that energy go into healing yourself over the weekend, you know, come in and heal, can continue. This is, you know, with the energy and the healing power of Reiki to help you heal yourself and others emotionally, physically, psychologically. So.
Thank you, Reese. I just love that you're just part of our team. I mean, it's like you love to empower women. It's my passion. It's your passion. We believe in it so completely that, you know, we're so generous with our energy and our time. And ladies, you have to understand, we're trying to create a movement here, and we want you to be part of our tribe. And we want you to bring all of your women friends to the Wild Women Symposium. We have discounts if there are 2 or more women coming. We have early bird specials. And so you can do this weekend amazingly inexpensively. So make it an event. I mean, we have women that do this. This is their thing that they do twice a year. It's their thing that they do for growth twice a year. And we have women that say they spend the next 6 months unraveling what they have learned and reconnecting themselves. And also know that people like Reese, they will be teaching their own individual classes after the Wild Women Symposium. And this is also our way to help healers get known out in the world, the ones that are really amazing and have their whole heart and soul into it. And so we ask you to please support these women in helping other women. And so they're going to be teaching classes and they do private sessions. And we hope you come to the Wild Women Symposium, which will be April 1st through 3rd, 2016 at the Leonardo Center. And Reese, any other final words you want to say before we close?
I really hope that anyone who's watched this realizes they have the ability to move forward just by being open to the experience of attending, even if it's one class at the symposium. Just come with us, be part of our tribe, and be held for that infinitesimal moment, and be reminded that you are part of unconditional love and you can move forward. And we are more than happy to support you on that journey.
Thank you, Reese. I can't wait to see you.
I'm excited. I was booked everything already, so I can't wait to come.
Great. Okay. I will see you in April.
Thank you.
Bye.